It's not a big deal. The banners at the bottom, you just switch them by clicking these. Like hover over the strip district meets. Yeah. Boom. Just make sure to like rotate this.
Okay.
And who's
The
sitting in this
IG.
chair?
Is it low or what?
Got a big head.
That's awesome. I think we're live. Yeah. And meet Bucking.
Let's go. It's been a while.
Dude, I almost wore that exact same hoodie, and now I'm glad I didn't. It would have been a little awkward if we showed up looking exactly the same.
It'd be like we talked all day every day.
Could you imagine that? Dude, that bison chuck roast, by the way.
Let's hear.
Yes. That's my analysis is just yes. I ate it for 3 days in like various forms.
Could you tell a big difference between that and beef?
It was just like a really good beef chuck roast.
Right.
If I don't think I would be like, this isn't beef. I would just be like, this is really good beef. You know what I mean?
It's hard when you slow cook something too.
Yeah, for sure. But it was crazy. I just had it. I finished it last night during the NCAA national championship game. I made bison nachos, just shredded it for some nachos.
Now you need another one.
I mean, I'll be in. And somebody else is going to be in too, depending on how
That's
this
right.
goes. Let's see. We have a special guest behind the keys today, Mr. Andrew Paula, playing the role of Danny Palm. Hey!
I've been waiting so long to do that. You guys have no idea.
He's been 100% queued up on that. I already know that. The first thing I was showing him like what he needs to do to run it. And I'm like, here's your air horn button, and that's all you need to know.
You need a hello people button.
Honestly,
when he's not here.
100%. I think we can like custom program that to be any sound. So we really do need a hello people button. But what's new your way, man? You got Easter coming up?
Yes.
That's got to be crazy at the store, right?
Not too bad.
Huh.
Nothing like Christmas or
Yeah.
Thanksgiving, but it is fun. It's like the kickoff of spring. So not only is Easter coming up, but we have grill season coming up. Everybody's pretty excited for that. Today's weather really
Ugh.
screwed that up.
It's
huh?
still grill
Ugh.
season for me.
Me
Can't,
too.
Can't
Me too.
stop it.
Grill season's all year round. for
Yeah,
me.
exactly.
But yeah, we are taking Easter orders now. People like to order their Easter lamb. We carry an Elijah Fields lamb leg, which is amazing.
Nice.
Domestic lamb racks we sell a lot of.
Mhm.
Boneless lamb legs, all that. And then, your hams, but nothing crazy. We carry a nice Smith ham from Erie,
Nice.
PA,
Nice.
and we also have cheaper hams too. And we are well known for our Easter kielbasa.
Oh.
It's actually an Easter kielbasa, but we call it holiday kielbasa because our customers love it so much. We have to carry it all year round.
Okay. Nice.
But it's, just a pork and beef kielbasa with fresh garlic, minced garlic added in.
How bad can that be?
It's so
Can't
good.
be bad.
So
Dude, that's
good.
awesome. Yeah. Is there for people wanting to get hams or something? Is there like I remember for Christmas and Thanksgiving, there's like deadlines to order.
Not so much of a deadline, but same way to order. Go online. You can order online or call the store
Sweet.
up to the day of. I'm sure we'll still
Nice.
fill your order.
So I had the bison chuck roast. What's the best like crazy thing you've had lately? You snag anything at the store recently, or just like a prime strip a day still?
I'm still on the prime strip a day. What have I had lately that I'm stuck on that Iberico pork too. I can't get away from that. And the prime picanha. Other
Spoiled, no big deal. Just
Yeah.
Iberico pork and
Yeah.
prime picanha. Paula, top 3 steak cuts. Go.
Oh man,
don't say filet.
no, absolutely not.
He's a good man.
Strip.
He wanted to say ribeye.
I do. That's up there,
He was
but
being
I
nice.
It's
that's one
way
thing
up
I always
there.
got to pass up. Let me get back to you on that. That's way too much. I definitely
was
of a
rude.
carnivore.
That was rude to just spring that on somebody.
Yeah.
I agree.
Hey, I'm sitting
I
here
agree.
alert to the table.
I know,
all
he's
that.
trying to
Come
fix
on
it.
now.
He's just worried about the cameras right now for
Yeah.
sure.
Now
that
he's
I'm
got
already
meat on the
messing up
brain.
on.
So yeah, I had to give Paula a crash course in the cameras and mics and everything, but he picked up on it pretty fast. But if there's any issue with the sound or video, please direct those hate comments toward him. It's at Andrew Paula PGH, I think.
Please and thank you.
So Brad, we have pretty ridiculous decision to make today. But before we really dig into the voting, the performances, let's talk about the fact that we haven't really discussed this yet. Strip District meets Meat Bucks are bigger and better than ever
They sure are.
for 2025 and beyond. So tell the good people what's up with that.
How about you tell them? I don't
Okay.
want to say the wrong thing.
Just tossed it right back. Alley-oop. So really interesting with the venue opening, Sunny Days Arena. Our pace of events is going up considerably. So we thought people might get a little tired of a Meat Bucks episode every single month, every single show. And then if we start doing grappling and Muay Thai and kickboxing stuff like we're going to, now we've got like 3 events a month and we're just giving Meat Bucks 3 times a month. It just waters it down really badly. So instead of doing that, we broke Meat Bucks into quarters. So we're giving away 4 total Meat Bucks awards this year, 2025, 1 per quarter. So January through March, April through June, etc. And this first quarter had some banger fights. After February 1st, Bitby 26, I kind of had a feeling that was going to be hard to beat. And
Right.
then I'm pretty sure Bitby 27 just like raised the bar. Those fights were insane. Like after that, I was like, oh my goodness. I thought for sure X person was going to win based on February, but now there's more in the mix. And now it's like, oh, where do we even go from here? So
Right.
it accomplished exactly what I hoped, and that created a much more competitive field. There are like 8 fighters, I think, by my count, that could legitimately make a claim at Meat Bucks. And
I have 11 fights
yeah, see?
on here that could make a claim.
Yeah. And that's being picky. Like
Right.
that's us narrowing it down to only the best of the best. And there's still 11,
Right.
8, however many that you need to get through. So the fans were going pretty nuts for voting. And I was surprised there were like 2 fan bases that really went hard. I don't know if you looked, but
I haven't even looked. Today.
two particular fighters like really ran away with the votes. Sky Lesko,
Nice.
excuse me, and Paige Wilcox.
Ooh.
Yeah,
baby.
I know. Coming off the top ropes from New York. I mean, wouldn't be the first time somebody out of town won them.
It wouldn't.
So we'll see how this shakes out, and I'll reveal which one of those 2 actually had the most votes on social. It was so close. It was like hilariously close.
That'd be, I mean, for Paige to get that would be cool.
Yeah.
Out
Yeah.
of town, female.
Oh, I
fighter.
know.
That'd be pretty
An
nice.
insane performance. I think at Bitby 27, like that night, just walking around, talking to people in the crowd, talking to my family and friends, like everybody was mentioning that fight is like that chick she was a beast. Like that was crazy.
I was standing behind her. I was getting my son something at the snack stand, and I'm watching her eat like a walking taco. And then her coach had an ice cream cone in his hand. I'm like, no way that girl's gonna eat that. I'm baffled. And then the coach looks over and tried to give the ice cream to my son. He said that they gave her that stuff for fighting.
Oh my God, that's
She got an ice
awesome.
cream
She got an
cone.
ice cream cone.
You guys got to do better.
That's brutal. Hey, listen, I'm not throwing anybody under the bus, but I don't think that was our decision to give her an ice cream cone. But that's awesome that they were like, hey, you deserve
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't look like she's ever touched an ice cream cone.
No. She makes me
She's so
feel.
shredded, dude.
Yeah, she gives me a complex when I.
I know. I know. And a freaking crazy performance. That was it was crazy after the fight. She had her post-fight interview with Ish, and it doesn't sound like she's going pro. Which when you watch that performance, it's
She's a pro,
like you basically watching a pro.
right?
So she's going to be like one of the most ready to roll. Whoever gets her in their pro debut, I'm sorry in advance about that.
Who's gonna fight her?
Yeah,
Is it-
exactly.
How's she gonna get an Emmy fight?
Exactly. She's reaching like that Carly Joe, Lilani Hodgins. Like
I
that's
mean,
the kind
I
of fight
was
it's going to have to
there. I wrote on here, I'd like to see her go against Carly Joe.
be. Yeah, I think everybody would. That's an insane fight. Carly, shout out Carly Joe. She has a fight coming up May 24th, I believe, for CFFC. Big time pro debut for CFFC. And before we dig too deep, while we're kind of on a little bit of a Matt Factory roll, I do want to shout out. There's a Matt Factory fighter who recently had a crazy health scare, like legitimately almost passed away and is
Oh,
still
boy.
battling. Trent Zadarko, but he is recovering and he's getting to go home, I believe, to his family, wife and kids. So Trent Zadarko is coming home. That's awesome. Everybody who supported that and put prayers out there and got Trenton home, man. That's huge. That's the biggest win out of anything we're going to talk about tonight. So shout out the whole Zadarko family and the Matt Factory family. That's the best news.
Oh yeah.
So gotta get those out there, and then we gotta get into these. We have so many fights that we do have to keep it moving this time, or this will
Yep.
be a 4-hour meat bucks. BitB 26. We'll start there, obviously, just chronologically. First fight of the year for us, first card of the year. Who do you have on your list? Let's start.
Well, I left the guy out that TJ Sloan debuted in that one.
Yeah, sure did.
I enjoyed his podcast with
Yeah.
you. Like, I thought that was really cool. I
Yeah.
enjoyed watching him fight. He fought he fought on the next card too, right? Or no? He's
No, he's
going
on
coming up
Yeah,
this one.
he's on April's.
So shout out to him. I'm actually super impressed by that kid. I was a little leery of him in that first fight. He dominated it, don't get me wrong, but you know, his showbiz and all
Mhm.
that.
Mhm.
But listening to him talk,
Yeah.
man, he's the real deal.
Yeah.
I'm excited about him. But the first one I wanted to really talk about was the Nick Alvarado versus Anthony Proctor.
A little Muay Thai fight to kick us off.
Dude, that guy from Stout
Yeah.
kept coming. That guy has the heart of a lion.
Yeah, he was a Terminator.
I really wanted to make sure I gave him a shout out.
Nice.
I don't think that's up for the meat bucks. Just, you know, it was a Muay Thai fight. It was a great Muay Thai fight. If you guys put Muay Thai fights out like that, people are going to want to see them.
Agreed completely.
The guy he fought was an absolute animal.
Yeah.
And he got in that cage and did what he had to do. He didn't win.
Dude,
But
Proctor's a beast.
He
Yeah.
gave it his all.
Yeah, that I do want to lead in with a shameless plug there that we have one Muay Thai fight right now in April, and it's Drew Landefeld versus Kassarian Spence.
Ooh.
Spence is undefeated, dude, 6-0. Muay Thai, all Muay Thai. And Landefeld's on a 3-fight tear, all finishes right now in MMA. And he's like, let me go test out my stand-up real quick
Wow.
against this beast. So you say, like, if we do fights like that, people are gonna like it. I think this is another one.
Yeah.
Like,
Drew's not scared to strike.
dude, Drew's not scared
shots.
scared of anything. That's why he's the lunatic. So that's another beautiful Muay Thai matchup. Not to detract too far, but I just had to shout out that one because you're right. Muay Thai, the fan base is a lot smaller in the USA than it is for MMA.
Mhm.
And I think once more people start seeing Muay Thai fights like that, they're going to be like,
It's very
Oh, my.
fast paced, you
Mhm.
know, and a
Yeah.
lot of strikes. So
For
it
sure.
is very exciting.
yeah, it's very different for sure. It really is a different sport, but it's cool to have that in there and mixing it up. I'm definitely excited to see. We've seen Drew so many times in the cage, but it'll
Yeah.
be interesting to see him in a pure stand-up context.
I love it.
Awesome.
That's what the Amis should be doing. You're just competing, right?
Yeah,
Just
just go get active.
get out there and get active and
Mm-hmm.
do jujitsu comps, do Muay Thai fights, do it all.
Yeah.
I love
Yep.
it.
I love that too. What else you got on BitB 26? What
Man,
we
I
roll
got a
into?
lot. What do
I
you
know.
got? What's your
I mean, just going off memory, I'm not a pro. See, this is why they pay Brad the big bucks. He's the pro. He takes the notes. Paula's probably got notes over there too. You guys are all professional, but one I definitely remember was a fight I was super hyped about going in. J.R. Cazales versus Will Moriarty.
Oh yeah.
The rare Pittsburgh versus Pittsburgh. And Cazales, man, wow.
Wolverine? Them?
Wow. Just took him down, methodical, took care of work, got him out of there quick, barely got touched in the process, which is super impressive with somebody of Moriarty's caliber as well,
Right.
doing it to them. Most interesting about that one to me was Cazales' debut for us. It wasn't his MMA debut, but against Noah Hermosillo.
Yeah.
And that was a crazy good fight. Like I rewatched that one before his fight at BitB 26. I was like, man, Cazales did a lot better than I think people gave him credit for. So then seeing the level Cazales is, like, just really highlighted how high level Hermosillo is too.
Right.
And it's like, man, we got a cluster of killer AMI lightweights right now.
Boy, that
in the
fight
Pittsburgh
would be
area.
nice to run back. Like,
I'm in on that rematch, man.
man, that was too soon.
There's a lot. So AMI lightweight, obviously we're going to talk about Hoot Lee in a little bit, not to jump the gun there, but then there's possibility of some welterweights becoming lightweights soon, and that's exciting. You probably know what I'm talking about. We won't quite spill those beans, but that's pretty exciting too. Just saying, 55 is kind of the place to be right now, and that's a good
It's
time.
stacked.
Yeah. What What, Paula, you were obviously at both shows, working the trenches at both. What stood out to you at BitB 26 when you just think about that show? Like, what left an impression on you?
I mean, really, off the top of my head, the first things I can think of are that was a show where I think the energy progressed in a really cool way
Mhm.
with how everything unfolded. And, not to be biased or anything like that, but I think Carly Joe's fight really set things up to tee off the last little quarter of the show or whatever it was in kind of a perfect way. Gino came out and really put on a phenomenal performance, and then Patton came out and did his thing. And that's, in my time with 247, I've been with us since BitB 20 or BitB 17. I did the jujitsu shows, all of that. That's one
That's
of the ones
crazy.
that stands out that I really remember. Just the flow of everything was. I actually had my parents at the show, and my wife was there too, and we were all talking about it afterwards, and it was kind of just like all
Nice.
buzzed up about it.
Dude, that's
You
awesome.
know.
I love hearing that. There's a real structure to the fight card order. We actually spend a lot of time with that. There's certain things, of course, that write themselves in terms of like an Ethan Goss title fight. If there's one pro title fight, that's the main event, obviously. There's certain things that kind of write themselves. With the AMI fights especially, it's a lot of leniency. You can kind of structure them however you want. So we try to be real smart about that. So to hear that the flow was good, thank you. That's awesome. That's a good compliment for
Yeah,
sure.
that Carly Joe and Leilani fight,
Bruh.
that was one of the best matchups I've ever seen. Like they were so even.
I know. It
Mhm.
was so crazy.
It was wonderful. What was Leilani's record?
7-0.
7-0.
Insane.
Carly Joe is a beast, dude.
The
Only
sec-
wants you if you're undefeated.
Yeah. Literally. I mean, when she fought Kara Hode for us, she was 5-0 or 6-0, one or the other. And
Yeah.
Carly got the dub that time too. So she's 2-0 against people who were a combined 12-0 leading into that fight. That's a pretty ridiculous stat.
The confidence she has is
Unshakable.
second to none.
Unshakable, man. And again, that's born from the work she puts in every day.
That's all the work
She
puts
knows.
in.
She knows. Yeah. Yeah. When you know. So that fight, I think for sure, that's one that I knew we were going to talk about a good bit, because not only, to Paula's point, that was like a turning point in the momentum in the night for sure. I distinctly remember that. But I just remember sitting there and like, I rarely get to just stop and watch the fights, but like that one stopped me in my tracks, and I was
Yeah.
like, I'm going to just watch this. Like, I have to. This is too good for me to do anything else.
That was like a UFC fight.
It was so high
Honestly,
level.
I'm like, how are you going to top this girl fight that you just had?
I know.
This is amazing.
I know, man. Freaking insane. And then I think we closed out. I think there were 3 pro fights on that card. I can't remember off the top of my head, but yeah, I think there were 3.
Yeah.
And they were all bangers. All bangers.
The Corbulizer.
The Corbalizer. How can we not talk about
The
him?
Kung Fu fighting.
Listen.
How can we not talk about
I
him?
couldn't believe my eyes. I'm like, this guy's fighting Nico Petrides. Like, oh
Dude.
my goodness, he's done.
And then Nico rocked him in like 10 seconds, and
Yeah.
you were like, well, this is going to happen this
I was
way,
like,
I guess.
wow, they put together a real great fight here. I'm like, what was Hunter thinking?
But then
But then, whew,
Corbel just can't be stopped, man. That was an insane performance. I think after the fight, Nico was like, that was the strongest union.
yeah, I would
I've
like
ever
to
felt.
hear
Yeah,
Nico talk about like what it feels like when Russ gets a hold of you. 'Cause
same. It didn't look
he
fun.
could not get
No.
him off.
It did not look fun.
That was impressive.
That was wild, and Corbel made a lot of fans that night. There were a lot of people talking about him too.
Absolutely.
Very-
The dancing after. Oh man.
Oh, the dancing was a spectacle. That was so awesome. And I
So
think
good.
even to the point of what you're talking about with how surprising that was, it's like, oh, Nico's this dog coming in, and the Corbulizer
The
came in and did
age,
what he did to
right?
him. Exactly. And like, I think that contributed to the flow of the energy of the night in a really similar way as some emphatic knockout would have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
For sure.
Absolutely.
For sure, man. That's a great point. And that fight was crazy. That was a great example of why they fight. Like you
That's
said,
right.
everybody was looking at it like, man, Nico's probably just going to run away with this one. And then he did at first. And then,
If
yeah.
there was betting on this, like if
Yeah,
dude,
Yeah.
everybody would have bet Nico.
I
on that
know.
fight.
I know, man.
Just because of the sheer factor of the age.
The age, the look, just the way Corbel even moved was like, man, I'm not sure he's like on Nico's level athletically. And then it was just like, well, persistent, crazy takedowns, crazy top control. That dude did look just insanely strong.
Yeah, he did.
So Nico's got a chance to bounce back though. April 26th, he's right back with us against Brett Schoenfeld, which is another crazy banger
And
matchup.
that was probably a good fight for Nico too. Like humble
Yeah.
you a little bit. Like, yo, don't
Yeah.
sleep on anybody.
100%.
Like, make sure you
You need
are-
those once in a
Yeah.
while, man. You need those. Dylan Kickler in the comments says this Paula guy smells. Very interesting comment, Dylan Kickler.
Not wrong.
We also have had Bobby Murda, Jared Billy, some others in the comments. What's up, guys? Thanks for tuning in. Bobby Murda casting his vote for Sky Lesko. So we'll talk about that here in a little bit. There's 2 more pro fights. Paula hinted at one a minute ago with Gino Morelli versus Derek Adjade. Crazy good fight. Adjade took Gino down.
I
I
thought-
know, obviously Gino won, but that's what I remember about that fight.
I thought that was a great fight.
Yeah, it was, man. That was very surprising. That was another one where
It's a
Quite-
second round.
I think it's second round TKO.
Yeah,
KO,
I didn't think anybody'd make it out of the first round with Gino.
That was the
be
thing. Like
honest.
after Gino made his debut with us against Hunter Watt, and Hunter Watt was a crazy high level prospect from Ohio as well, and just blew right through him.
Right.
And I was like, oh my goodness, how good is this Gino guy? Like a Penn State wrestler that fights on the feet like Wonder Boy. That's you probably not who can possibly beat this. And then Adjade, man, game, very game.
Yeah.
Because I think that was another one where we were worried. Like you get a guy from Texas that's 7-11, upside down record, and we don't know too much about him. He's a little older. Definitely was like, is this just? But then we watch Adjade's footage. We're like, man, he's a lot better than the record says. And then he definitely showed that as well. That was a great fight. I think that was exactly the test Gino needed too, because as much as you want that highlight like he had against Hunter Watt for UFC's sake, for hype's sake, you need that cage time and adversity because you're not going to do that to everybody.
Right.
You're just not. So that was exactly the test I think he needed. So crazy to see him get through that, conquer that, and then get the big finish.
Yep.
That was awesome. Justin Patton. Justin Patton.
He's special.
This guy's doing some stuff right now. He's
I
on
can
a bit
feel
of a
it.
tear.
He's about to blow up. I mean, I've been saying
I
this for
know.
years, but I really feel it now. Like he's about to blow up.
Same
There's
deal.
posters of him, like life size.
How crazy is that? I know. Lower Burrell's got Justin Patton's face all over
Yeah.
the place, which is scary for people who don't follow fighting. They're probably like, what is this? What is this guy doing? Who is this? But yeah, he's making a crazy name for himself, and for good reason, man. The tear he's on, that Ryan Cafaro fight, obviously the eye poke being
Mhm.
the one that got away. Like if he won that, who knows if he's even on the table to fight for us in April like he's about to. It's crazy.
And what I like about him too is that everybody likes him.
Yeah, that's a great point.
You know,
Mhm.
like a lot of times when you're like the best, people hate on you all the time, and
Mm-hmm.
nobody does that to him. He's a good dude.
That's
he
a good
does
point.
everything right, and everybody gives him love. Even all the other fighters,
Yeah.
they go spar with him at Stout, and they talk about
Happy
what a
to do it.
beast he is.
Yeah,
You know,
happy.
damn, we got beat up by
Even his
Justin Patton.
opponent, like he has good rapport with his opponents and
Yeah.
everything too. It's really interesting. I think
He just
it's rare.
truly loves the game.
Yeah. I think that's what it is the real always rises in MMA. Like you can only fake it so far.
Right.
And Justin's never once dipped into the fake side of it. He's just been real from day one. And I think that's resonating with people now.
I mean, it makes sense that him and Carly found each other, but it's also very strange that they're so similar.
I know. It's that Matt Factory. Yeah, everything going on in their lives. That Matt Factory with Chris Williams striking on the side. Oh man, they got the combo. And that is a couple that you never want to challenge if you're a night out on the town
They
and
should
somebody spills your drink.
They
That's
should go in the Amazing Race. Or something.
dude. Imagine that like Pittsburgh edition. That would be
Yeah.
awesome, dude. My money's on them in
Yeah.
anything. I don't care what the challenge is. I'm taking that couple for sure.
Uh-huh.
Got CWA Wrestling and Austin Middleton popping in. What's up, guys? Thanks for joining. It's going to be a fun one. The Meat Bucks. We're just running through. We're wrapping up BitB 26 right now, just kind of recapping what happened. A lot of highlights in February and March inside the 247 cage. So we
I
got quite a through.
circled a fight
Okay.
from BitB 26, meaning like if I were to do Meat Bucks,
Okay.
the fight I probably would have picked for BitB 26 was Carly Joe and
Oh,
Leilani.
nice. I am 100% with you. When that night ended, that was the one that I was like, this is going to be hard to beat. But then Bitby 27
Then Bitby
happened.
27 happened.
And some more contenders entered the race. And
I just noticed that I circled all the female fights.
so do you, backing up a second, they're all amazing fights and we're definitely going to talk about them. But even at like the UFC level, do you prefer female fights? Is that, or
No,
is this just
not at
coincidence?
all.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you, and I think these were like special female fights.
Yeah.
I totally agree. So, Bitby 27 rolls around, big shoes to fill.
Yep.
Same place, Marysville Sports Zone. I think it filled those shoes, man. That card was holy crap,
Yeah.
holy
The
crap,
first fight I wrote down was Sky Lesko versus Justin Wicker.
beautiful, beautiful one to start with.
You know I love Sky Lesko.
I know.
Throwing the backflip off that knockout, and then you told me I couldn't vote for him. You crushed my whole.
He missed weight. Let's be very clear. Let's be very clear and on the record.
But
If
now,
you miss weight, you're disqualified from meat bucks.
now he put Wicker down with a body shot, right?
Bro, that was one of the nastiest body shots that Arcade has ever seen.
And Justin Wicker's no slouch, dude.
No, very
a
good. He won the first
beefy-
round. Yeah,
Big dude who can take some shots.
for sure. He definitely won the first round. And then, I mean, it took Lesko had to hit him with everything to actually end the fight.
Lesko's eyes are locked,
Yeah.
dude.
He's an athlete, man.
He's
He's,
gonna hit
just
you
flat
in
out
the
an
right
athlete.
spot.
What do you want to say there, Paula?
I was about to say, you were talking about the body shot that Sky ended the fight with. He cracked him with a really nice right hook over the top and then right into the left to the body.
Oh.
I have pictures of both of it, and
Yeah.
it was right in front of me. I was watching it and was just, oof.
But I think he had to do something to that body though. Like,
Yeah.
Mhm.
what he hit? Was that like a
Oh,
did he
like
crack a rib?
I think Wicker was
He was
fine
just-
actually. It might have just been a liver shot, crumpled him up a little, paralyzed him a little. But the sound, like
Oh,
if you guys go to our Instagram at 247 Fighting Championships, there's a real post of like cage side footage of it, and the sound of the body shot is like a ruler hitting a wet walrus, dude. Just
Yeah.
the smack.
Lesko's like a sniper, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Once he got comfortable, because the first round, like I said, lost the first round on his back a lot. Once he got his timing and range figured out in the second, he started
Yeah.
feeling it. You know, you could just see his whole demeanor change. He was like, I
Yep.
got this now. He's a scary dude. That's a
Very.
really scary fight for
Very.
anybody moving forward. So, and shout out Justin Wicker too, man. I've been super impressed with him.
Me
He's
too,
now fought for us
absolutely.
twice, and they
Did
were
he fight
both
out of like a judo gym or
yeah, Trafford Judo Club. So, obviously like a smaller, lesser known gym to the MMA community here, but Wicker's freaking ready to go, man.
Yeah.
Easy to work with. I love that whole team is really great. I think the fight that I'm again going off memory, but I think Chris Brace versus Hunter Martz started that card off.
Oh yeah.
And I want to give a shout out to that fight because what a way to set the tone,
Yes,
dude.
That was a good one.
What a way to set the
Two
tone.
young kids, right?
They were
Young,
just
young.
rocking each other repeatedly. I was like, this is crazy. Just as soon as you're like, all right, Hunter's definitely about to end it. Nope. Chris cracks him back and like momentum shifts were wild. And then Brace eventually got, I think, second round finish, rear naked.
Yeah.
Insane. That was like I said, Paula, about like us putting thought into what fight starts the card. That one was very intentional, and then it rose exactly to the challenge. That was
Debut
awesome.
versus debut, right?
Yeah. Yep. And
Phenomenal fight
insane, dude.
for two
I
debuts.
loved it. I loved everything about that one. That was so good. So shout out that one. Brace to me was definitely in the meat bucks contention after that fight, especially the raw debut. Man, you just never know what to expect, and
Right.
especially composure wise. How many? I mean, you've been with us for what 2+ years at this point,
Oh,
seen
yeah.
every fight. How many amateurs do you see get cracked and just kind of fold, just kind of give up because they're like, man, I don't like this. This
Right.
isn't cool. But Brace was like, nah, hit me
No.
again, hit me again. Let's go. That like seeing the heart is part of it for sure.
Right. He definitely has heart.
Yeah, yeah.
I
they
mean,
both
I think
do.
that
yeah.
was his dad out of the ring saying, he's got the dog. in him."
I didn't hear that.
Dude,
That's
He
awesome.
definitely
That's
has a dog in him.
awesome. Yeah, unquestionable dog in that one.
Yeah.
So shout out Chris Brace. Shout out Sky Lesko. 2 early contenders from Bitby 27. I'm peeking at your
You're okay. You're
at
okay.
your
Want me to
paper so I
share?
can steal. Yeah. I mean, we talked about Paige versus Tatiana and Paige specifically, but
I was so impressed with her, man.
nasty. Tatiana is extremely good from an extremely good gym, one of the best blue corner gyms that we bring in. Finishers, they're just killer after killer.
She
And
just couldn't find a range.
no, and Paige was just
Paige was so good.
polished.
Yeah, so good. So good. She didn't give her an inch, you
Mm-mm.
know.
No, you don't see amateurs and female WMMA, like the amateur scene for females is even smaller, so
Mhm.
the talent gap is even wider.
Right, right.
You normally don't see amateur females look like Paige look, for sure. That's like Carly and Leilani. Like when we talk about that, that's that level where you're like, just go pro. You're ready. You're ready. There's nothing left for you here. But interesting that it does sound like she's gonna want another amateur fighter too, because I think she was, what was her record, like 6-3 or something? She's like, I think it was something like that. She has like close to 10 AMI fights now. So yeah, I don't know. Hey, she's going to be ready. I guarantee you that.
She's not.
Why rush it?
Yeah.
Why rush it?
I don't think she can ever get out of shape. So
No, dude, she looks so crazy. It's wild to see. Also, one of my favorite face-off pictures because they were both like 5'0".
right, and
And-
you couldn't tell by looking at Paige's picture.
Yeah.
you can't tell she's like a beast.
I
dude.
know.
She looks
I
like
know.
just this little girl. Like,
Did you see her in person? Dude, there's some pictures, not just you, Paul, like all the photographers go down Bermuda. You guys got some pictures of Paige where I was definitely having like arm envy. I'm
Yeah.
like, how do your arms look like that?
Why
dude?
is your
What?
back so ripped?
Yeah, like what are you doing? This is crazy. Must be eating a lot of elk, which you can get at Strip District Meats.
That's right.
So moving on from that one, I think we had another advanced AMI fight on that card, and it was kind of a big deal.
Kind of.
May have been a title involved. A guy you know a little bit.
Yep. And I think everybody knows.
Yeah, everybody in
'Cause
Pittsburgh
the
knows
whole
now.
crowd shouts his name when he comes out.
Yeah. Yep. Pretty great. Pretty great. What let's just dig right into it. Dig right in.
That fight was impressive to me. Like the whole way it went down, who got called out, and then that fight went away, and then you guys found another opponent. I didn't know what to think of it. I'm like, are they just teeing somebody up? Like, what's going on? How'd they get this guy so quick? And then when I saw Garrett Hirschberger come out with some lightning fast hands and catch
Dude.
Hoot, I mean, he
I'm
had
telling
Hoot
you.
rocked.
Is it a Hoot Lee fight if he
It's-
doesn't get cracked in the first 10 seconds though?
I guess it's not. I mean, that's pretty.
it's like
pretty
he needs to wake up or
It's
something.
like
I
his
don't
on
understand.
switch. He's
Yeah.
like, go ahead, turn me on.
Okay. Yeah,
But,
Hirschberger's a beast.
He
dude.
definitely cracked him. Like not only in the beginning, he was catching him throughout the fight. And even Hoot said after the fight, like his speed was.
It was considerable.
Yeah. I wasn't really ready for it, but then he just took him down.
Yeah.
And
I
just
mean-
overpowered him and had his way with him, picking him up and carrying him over right in front of Danilo
That
so
was
he
crazy.
could coach him
That
through.
was crazy.
Twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Some
like
Matt Hughes stuff.
he really tried to slam him through the floor.
Yeah. Yeah, there was this is kind of funny to talk about now. It wasn't super noticeable, but when we were disassembling the cage that night, one of the plywood floors has like a big crack. We're gonna have to replace it for
Nice.
sure. And I'm not positive, but I'm pretty sure that's where one of Hoot's slams was. I think that's what it was from.
Nice.
Just
nice.
crazy. So that's just insane. But yeah, that fight, Hoot had a lot, I would say, going against him.
Yeah.
A lot of time off, which is usually not good for guys.
He was very sick.
Yeah, very sick, like the whole year basically, which was crazy. You can talk about it now because it doesn't matter because he made weight, but he really struggled to make weight. He looked like death when he was here and like wasn't sure if he was going to make it. The last minute, he had some notice, but the opponent changed. That's not who Hoot was originally preparing for, or even the style he was preparing for.
Right.
Totally different guy from Ohio, coming down from 170. So a big guy. Hirschberger was physically big. Hoot's a big 155, but I think Hirschberger was even a little physically bigger.
Right.
So there was a lot going against Hoot in that fight. And just to
But Hoot came out.
did Hoot, he looked exactly like you would expect Hoot, but better.
Yeah.
Like not Hoot obviously had an amazing run, had one of the all-time fights in 247 history against Cowboy Eddie that everybody remembers.
That was amazing.
This was a different level of fighter, though, a different level of skill. I should put it that I think Hootley showed before he, to me, got by on like raw power grit, would just overwhelm people that couldn't handle his pressure. But this was that plus skill, plus finishing instinct on the feet. Like the finish we didn't even talk about yet. Like the fact that he knocked him out on the feet, that's kind of not Hoot's thing. You know what I mean? Now, if you say Hoot's got knockout power on the feet, plus his wrestling, plus his submissions, plus you can't kill him, like, dude, he's a real problem. That dude's a real problem.
I've always known Hoot had knockout power. I'm pretty sure you did too.
You seen it?
He hits different, man. He swings so hard.
He's got that
ridiculous.
Somerset County strength, man.
Yeah, I kept hearing Danilo telling him to throw that overhand, and he
Yeah.
finally listened.
That's another one on our Instagram. You guys can find the cage side footage of that finish, and it's another nasty one.
Yeah.
It's really puts in perspective. There's no better way than actually being there, but the cage side footage that we get is the next best thing to seeing how fast and how hard they hit and things. It's a lot of power there.
Yeah, you have no idea how fast that stuff goes down.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. Hey, Strip District Meats is watching. What's up? What's up,
Hey.
Strip District Meats? see what she wants us to plug next. Sometimes she'll chime in with like a special or something, which I always appreciate that.
Kind of specials we got.
We got the Hoot Lee Championship belt.
Smashburger.
That would be great. There you go. Nice. So Hoot Lee and Still 247 AME 155 champ might be going pro. Might be. I don't know.
I think my
It's on the
favorite
table at least.
thing about that fight is just how much crowd involvement you get.
Bro. Always with Hoot.
It's like the roof's gonna pop,
I know.
and it's an AMI fight. You
Yeah.
know, you still got pros coming up after, and I mean the place is rocking.
Yeah.
The whole crowd's chanting his name
Oh,
before
it
he's
is
not even out of
crazy.
the locker room.
I
yet.
know. It's so good, man.
I get goosebumps when he comes to fight, man. It's amazing.
and respectful, like the right kind of energy. You don't feel like it's dangerous or
Right,
like
right.
somebody's about to start a fight or a riot. It's just like good, wholesome chanting for our boy energy, and I love that. So, Strip District Meats asking how much did I miss? We're running through the fights right now. We haven't placed any votes or anything, so you didn't miss too much. We did talk about some meat in the store for Easter, though. We did get that Easter plug in there, so that's good. Dude, that Hoot Lee fight's tough to top, but there were some to finish out that card too that I think kept it rolling pretty nice. So, interestingly, as we were talking about, kind of having the fight card order be strategic, this one was a little tough because one thing, this is kind of like behind the scenes stuff that I think if you follow closely, you'll care about. We never want to put one gym back to back. Like you don't want the same gym to fight twice in a row because their coaches, they need to warm their fighter up. They need time to get them warmed up. So when you go back to back, it makes them really, really hard on them. But we didn't really have a choice with Hoot and Bridget because Hoot being an AMI title fight had to be the last AMI fight. And Bridget, just based on experience and how the card worked out, she was going to be the first pro fight. So they had to go back to back. So we threw a little intermission in between. So that's how we had to get creative on that one. Just the little things we deal with that we got to think about. But
That was a great fight.
the other thing about having an intermission is you've got all this energy from the Hoot Lee fight, and then an intermission brings the level back down. We knew we had to have something coming back out of the gate to get everybody reinvested, and boy, did she deliver. Did that fight deliver, I should say,
Right.
because, man, that Miranda's tough as hell.
Yeah, Miranda did her part as well. So, I mean, that fight was so entertaining.
It really
I mean,
was.
If you just had to pick between the 3 girl fights,
Dude. I know they were like, those were 3 amazing fights, and I don't even know which way I would go.
I don't either.
I'm not sure. I can't pick it. But Miranda Barber, we talked about it a lot in the lead up to that fight, that she was another, like we talked about Derek Adjide earlier, upside down record. I think she was 2-5, but you could watch any of her fights and know right away, like, she's way better than 2-5. Like, don't take that to heart because she'll get you. And arguably won the first round. I
Yeah.
think she did, actually. I definitely
I
think she
think
did.
like, you know, what had happened, I think Bridget clearly wore her out.
Yeah,
Bridget's energy went up throughout
Yes.
the fight,
Yep.
and Miranda's consistently went
Yeah,
down.
for sure. And that'll happen when you've got the pressure and everything from
Right,
Bridget.
right.
That's tough to deal with. She just showed once again why they're to Bridget and Hope. I'm speaking. I kind of, when you talk about one Chase sister, you kind of talk about both of them. You know what I
Right.
mean? They're
They're so similar but so different.
so
at the
similar and
same
so
time.
different, but you say all the same things about them, just the preparation, the professionalism, the pressure. They're comfortable everywhere the fight goes. Really interesting karate style on the feet with that Indio ground game. It's a deadly combo. They're two of the best female fighters ever from Pittsburgh, truly.
She let her up
Yeah.
multiple times.
How many times you see
to
that?
Get back up. Did
How
you see
many
how
times you
mad
see
she
that?
got to?
There's a pretty. Do you have a good picture of that, Paula? There was an epic one when she was like, "Come on, come on."
both times.
Yeah.
Danilo wasn't happy with that either. but-
Really?
Oh.
She wanted her. He wanted her to go to the ground.
Well, I mean,
Well, he's Danilo, so that makes sense.
she
Danilo gets what he wants.
probably could have just ended it right there.
What's
but
the fun in that? She's putting
Right.
on a show.
That's crazy, though. That's crazy.
That is crazy. That was a nuts fight.
That was
Really good fight. Under the radar on
good
that
blood
card.
at the end too. Caught her with that elbow in the
Yeah,
side of the head.
Yep.
Nobody could tell who was bleeding.
I know. That's always the best when it's just a smear everywhere. It's like, where's that coming from? I don't know. It's just
Bridget
it's
that
part
had
of it.
all over her
Oh,
face. She
dude.
didn't care at all.
All over the canvas, man. When we were tearing down the cage that night, that canvas was wrecked. We had to clean that thing. There was so much blood on the canvas. Yeah, it was pretty gross. Shout out our boy Jeremiah Butler, by the way, helping us tear down the 10th Planet Mazzer he got.
Yeah, he's
yeah.
a fighter, isn't he?
Yeah, a grappler. He's maybe making an MMA debut too, which is exciting. So that's nice. But
He fought
hung
next
around.
door. He
Yeah.
did the grappling next
against
door.
Justin Pippins,
Yeah,
crazy. Butler's the man, and he stuck around. He learned what the teardown life was about, and I don't think he'll be back. Not because he wasn't game, but just because it is like the worst thing ever. So once you experience it, you're like, yeah, I'm good now. But we had Siebert versus Cam right after that.
It was a good fight.
Yeah, it was odd to have a Siebert fight not be talked about for Meat Bucks because I
Right.
feel like he's won it, but also been in the conversation like every time he fights. But that was his test, man. That was the one that exactly what we said the entire lead up. That was the test he needed, kind of like Gino and Agide, where that's exactly what you needed. Siebert was in real trouble. Cam had a guillotine attempt that Lucas was saying, like, I basically just made up my mind that I was going to sleep. Like, that was it. But then he heard his coach Wilkins in the corner being like, your head's out. And he's like, I just popped out and I was good. He's like, but I was sure that, like,
Yeah.
he got me. Yeah. Which is crazy. But that's the kind of experience he needed. So that'll be a good, interesting learning process for Lucas, I think. He's been obviously on a tear, completely undefeated as an Amiana pro, one of the best prospects in the area. But
He's a problem. Like,
yeah.
he's tough to match up against. He's got a lot of skill, man.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because I think up to that point, if you didn't know he wrestled at WVU, you would not think he was a wrestler the way he fought.
Right.
A lot of stand
He
up.
doesn't just lean on his
Right.
wrestling ever.
Right. But that fight, he kind of went back to it. He was
Yeah.
like, oh,
When your back's up against
Yeah,
the wall.
yes. he's like, I just need to remind you what
Yeah.
I can do here. And got him the dub. But that was far from an easy one for the young Steel City Siebert. So great fight. And it all led up to the main event.
Oof.
Energy. That's the only word I can think of when I think of Bad Combo, dude. That guy's a ball of energy.
The Energizer Bunny.
Crazy. I want him versus Corbalizer. Who's going to tire out first? I don't know, but
That dude's a bad dude.
dude, that was an insane performance. Like, obviously, we all know, we don't even need to get too far into it. We know what Kama means to the city and arguably the best MMA fighter ever from Pittsburgh, and probably is. And to do that in his hometown and come in and just wipe him out in the first round like that, Bad Combo's a bad dude.
Yeah.
That was a wild fight. And Paula, how was Bad Combo at weigh-ins?
I seen him making videos, going crazy. He was having a ball, wasn't he?
Oh my God.
He was definitely living in the moment and making the most of his time here. And I had the opportunity to give him a ride to weigh-ins from the hotel because he didn't come with a team, and he was just the head he's got on his shoulders. He is ultra laser focused, just ready to take on all comers. And I don't care who you're a fan of. It's to me, it's something you got to respect. So
Right.
that's just
100%.
feeling his energy. It was a fight that I was over the moon excited for going
Yeah.
into that weekend.
Yeah, you touch on something super crucial there. I think he's a very special person, let
Right.
alone his fighting.
For
He's just
sure.
a
Absolutely.
very dialed in individual in a way that you don't see a lot.
Right.
he's truly, like they say, like the kids say, living his best life. Like he really is. He's living that dream that he wants for himself. And man, I hope he achieves everything, dude. I hope Bad Combo gets to the UFC. I hope he gets to see everything he wants materialized because he was nothing but a good dude and
I
deserves
agree.
it. He's working for it.
And he came from where? What state?
Michigan.
Michigan.
Yeah, Detroit.
Wow.
Yeah, and I mean his gym. What was his gym announced as? Like Bad Combo Nation, I think, or something. like, I'm not even sure what gym affiliation, and he's just out here doing
Oh.
the thing, man.
He's at a gym for sure.
Bro, oh yeah. The dude knows what he's doing a little bit. Yeah, crazy first round finish of Kama. Obviously, meat bucks worthy performance for Bad Combo. This, as you guys just heard with the rundown, the choice we have to make right now is pretty impossible. I'm still like in my head. I know who I thought I was going to say, but the more we talk about the fights, I'm like,
Right.
is it this one? I guess I'll start with the fan vote because that one's a little more concrete.
Oh, we never even heard who the
I know. You just know it's close. So for people who maybe have never seen Meat Bucks before, we do the fan vote, which you guys did. Definitely appreciate all the engagement, all the shares there. 2 fan bases really tore it up with Sky and Paige Wilcox on that. The fan vote counts as 1, and then I get a vote. Our owner Ryan Middleton gets a vote. Danny Palm, Mr. Do Everything, gets a vote. Brad gets a vote, and today Andrew Paula gets a vote, which is also very exciting. So we got him in studio for a vote, and then whoever gets the most votes is going to win this thing. So the first vote, courtesy of the fans, goes to
Is it 1 vote or 2 for the fan? vote?
1.
Okay.
1 for the fans goes to Sky Lesko.
Very nice.
He won by 3, which was crazy in the context of how many votes there were. He only had 3 more. So shout out. Hope Paige Wilcox doesn't feel discouraged by that because Sky's a local guy with the biggest gym in Pittsburgh behind him, and she
lost
hung
by
right there.
3.
Yeah, she hung right there with it, and clearly her troops are extremely dedicated to her, and that's awesome that she has that support. She deserves it for sure. So first vote out the gate goes to Sky Lesko.
I like it.
I think Paula needs to go ahead and step up next for his. That's what I think.
I'm gonna go pass and go last if that's possible.
Oh,
Oh.
he's got to think about it.
Give me a
more.
little bit
He's
of
still
a break.
checking his notes.
Damn,
Uh-huh.
I'm springing like top 3 meats on him too soon.
That's what I'm
springing
saying. I still haven't given that any extra thought, man.
It's tough, right? You got to worry about the cameras and the audio. You got to.
He said ribeye though. I'm gonna put that up there.
Nice.
At least we'll take that another
Dude,
one.
I mean, yeah. You gotta have ribeye. I know it's the old trusty standby, but it is for a reason. So I'll share Ryan and Danny Palm. Obviously, they're not here, but they told me who they're voting for. Danny Palm. Hello, people. The vote is in, and it's going to Carly Joe Thomas.
Ooh.
I mean, how can you can't say anything about that.
I have nothing to say about that.
That is a great pick. Fantastic pick. Ryan. So we've got 1 for Sky, 1 for Carly Joe, and 1 for somebody else, thanks to Ryan. Clayton Hoot Lee gets Ryan Middleton's vote. So now we got 1 for Hoot, 1 for Sky, 1 for Carly Joe. If we just all pick different people, this is going to be hilarious. And I don't know what we're going to do in that case, but let's see. Man, what do we got? We'll leave Paula for last. Brad, you want to take it or you want me to go first?
I'll go, but I'm going to do a shout out first. Can I
Okay.
do that?
Yeah.
I'd like to
Do
do a
whatever you
shout
want,
out
bro.
on every podcast.
Nice. Do it.
This
Let's roll.
time I want to shout out DJ Cake.
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
Only because when I watch these fights back over and over again, and like when I'm there and I notice it, but I don't really know, but when I watch them back, she knows when to play the song, man. Like you see Bad Combo dancing right on time. You see the Corbulizer getting it right on time. She nails it every time. She's been your girl for as long as I've been here. And I just want to give her a little shout out, send her some love. She's awesome.
Bro, so well deserved. And yeah, she's the best in the city, and I don't even think second place is close. She's just got it. She's
But
got
she,
it
like,
going.
With you guys, especially, like
I
it's
know.
like a great pair.
She gets it. Like
does.
it's not an easy job, man. I've went back to her little mixing booth and just kind of watched how she does it because I'm just interested in kind of everything. You know what I mean? Dude, you kind of have it in your mind that it's like plugging your phone into a Bluetooth speaker and playing songs,
Put a
right?
playlist
You know what I
on.
mean? Yeah. Like in your mind, you're like, I could probably DJ. No.
No, no.
Like once you see it's like, no way. There's no way you can do this. And like you said, her timing's insane. I mean, the whole
Her
reason
timing is insane.
the whole
dude.
reason Russ danced was her. Like she
Yeah.
literally made that happen and did it again with
Bad combo.
Bad Combo and Ronald Castaneda, which somehow
Oh,
we didn't
yeah.
talk about that
Oh
fight.
my goodness.
Hang on, how did we not
That
talk
was an
about Castaneda?
incredible fight.
Oh my god, that knockout was insane. And Hugo Edie, you're talking
Hugo
about
Edie was tough,
Bro,
bro.
Nick Alvarado. You talking about that one reminded me of Hugo because same thing where it was like you weren't sure. You get tagged up early and like it can become a lot. But dude, Hugo just terminated that. He was like, whatever. And by the second round, I thought Hugo was starting to take over the
So
fight
did
when he
I.
got caught. I was like, wow, this is totally shifting.
I was like, this guy's from Pitt's Fight Club. Like, what?
Yeah. Stout and Pitt MMA Fight Club. That is a crazy combo. So shout out Hugh Edie for just being an absolute dog and Castaneda for having bricks for hands. The Cuban Missile Crisis is an extremely valid fight nickname for him. That works very well. So we got Ty Polk in the comments, dude. What up, Ty? Thanks for being here, dude. He said broadcaster's pick. Just to be clear, ladies and gentlemen, this vote does not count. It does not count, but I'm going to share his pick is Hoot Lee and his runner-up is Ronald Castaneda. Right on cue. So
Nice.
there you go. Very cool.
So now it's my pick.
Now it's your actual pick. We've got one for Hoot Lee, we've got one for Carly Joe, and one for Sky Lesko. This is wild.
Well, you got two for Hoot Lee because the thing that sets that fight apart for me is just the crowd.
Yeah.
How involved. The place is so electric and it's a title fight and he comes out and handles the business.
Yeah.
Like a pro. Right? I mean, it was amazing.
Truly.
A great knockout. I mean, it was like almost knockout of the night. The Bad Combos is pretty hard there too.
Yeah.
But yeah, Hoot Lee for the belt being on the line and just the crowd being involved, I think it was electric for me. I'm gonna give it to Hoot.
Yeah, I can't disagree with any of these, man. These are amazing picks. I think, excuse me, when I really get down to it, there's two that I'm kind of stuck between, and they both already have votes. Sky Lesko and Hoot are the two. So for very different reasons. Sky Lesko, a body shot finish, very rare, especially rare at the AMI level. And one time Hoot Lee won with the body shot ground and pound
On the AMI.
in AMI, and now Sky did it. That's so
But it
rare.
wasn't on the ground. He just hit him in the body.
Yeah, but he still had to finish it on the ground. You know what I mean? Like the ref didn't call it right away. So then Sky had to just like go crazy on his body.
He couldn't hit him in
Yeah,
the
because he
head.
couldn't hit him in the head.
Right.
So just seeing somebody finish, because one of the biggest things we always hear in Pennsylvania is that the novice AMI ground and pound rules, people don't always love them. They wish that you could ground and pound to the head. And for sure, it's an argument that I hear both sides of. But I
kind of like it.
Yeah.
Because we're there to learn skills, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you can ground and pound and end a fight quick,
yeah,
you're gonna get your ass kicked into the next level, probably.
Dude,
maybe.
I definitely see it both ways. The biggest downside is that I think, and I'm not even sure this happens because they're not being coached this, but it could teach bad habits of just not being aware on the ground that, hey, I could get hit in the head right now, because sometimes you can get lax like, well, he's not allowed to hit me in the head, so I'm not even going to worry about it. But the coaching's so good now locally. I don't think they're teaching that in the room. You know what I mean?
I think anytime you're on your back and they're on top of you,
you're kind of aware.
You know you can get hit in the head.
Yeah, right?
It's the first
Even if
thing
it's
you're
an accident, man, you want to be ready for that. So
even
Scott,
sometimes when I'm doing jujitsu, I'm like, not
Yeah,
I'm like,
don't-
no,
you're not
man.
hitting me in the head, bro. So Sky Lesko for sure was one that stood out right away, and then Hoot for all the reasons that you just said, plus the layoff. I think that's kind of an underrated aspect of that a lot of people come off a long layoff and just don't look the same at all. He not only looked
Better.
the same but better.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. That's really crazy to do. That said, you guys know the two I'm between. And I'm going to toss it to Paula now before I tell you who I'm actually
Oh.
taking.
All right. Well, just because you let me wait a little bit, I'll go. I definitely have to shout out my top three really, really quick before I do pick a number one. My top three are going to be Justin Patton and Elijah, that coming off of the eye poke from the Cafaro fight. The energy going into that, it was just so tense, and the way that card ended with that. And for him to take a little bit of a layoff, come back, and just really put on a show in all facets of the game, like that was insanely impressive to me. Got the business done. It is what it is, you know. So I love that. And to me, all of these, there's a little bit of context that goes into it. Like the performance obviously is what it is. And if I was just going on that, you know, I'd throw Sky's name in here. I do all sorts of different things like that. Carly Joe, I was with her in Tennessee coming off of a loss at 135, and this coming out party at 115 was just something that was, for me, so anticipated coming to 115, and then for her to go against a hungry 7-0 opponent, do what she did, and just really bring the house down in the process. I don't think much more can be said about that. And then the Lone Warrior coming in bad combo.
Nice.
You know, I hate to do that against a Pittsburgh guy, somebody like Kama, but it was just business as usual. And then that's part of this game, him to come in and what he did and just have the head on the shoulders that he was. And, you know, anybody looking at that scenario from an outer context would be like, oh, this kid's batting up a league. You know what I mean? So it's nothing but dog mentality with that respect. And so I think with that, my pick is actually going to be bad combo with that. I love everything with it. My number 2 is going to be Carly. And I also wanted to give Siebert's fight an honorable mention with that too, because that build-up was insane. Loved every part about that. Loved him coming out and showing us what he was made of. And that's, you know, you even said it on the podcast, Hunter, to where it was like, it's either going to be a back to the drawing board moment, or it's going to be like, hey, this kid's here and this is what he's about.
Yep.
So
I like
long-winded way.
One of my favorite things about your breakdown there, Paula, is the way you look at fights. You seem to be really invested in kind of the narrative and the storylines going in, and that's really important. I think that can't get lost when we talk about, especially Meat Bucks. We've actually said this on Meat Bucks podcast. I think we're like, there's a lot of UFC fights, title fights, even non-title fights, but that people consider like some of the best fights of all time. And the reason why that is the storyline going in. Like, you need that for it to be the moment. Like, I promise, if you go watch Jones versus Gustafsson Part 1, which is unanimously considered one of the best fights of all time, if you watch it and just there's no title on the line, he's not John Jones and Alex isn't Alex, it's not the best fight you've ever seen. It's really not. It's good. Don't get me wrong. It's good. But it would never be like unanimous top 10 if it wasn't for everything that went into it. There's a lot of fights like that where it's like, when you strip that away, just loses something. So when you have it, yeah, man, you got to pay respect to it.
That's why I say everybody should do like I do, you know, go to the fights live, but also have the membership to 247 Live, because
gotta throw that out there.
dude, when you're watching and you
Nice.
get the backstory and your commentators
Yeah.
are so great and you hear where these guys come from, you hear just a little bit about their background, it makes the fight
Dude,
so much better.
100%. Shout out Ty Polk and Ethan Goss commentary on these 2 cards. And coming up, Ty Polk and Lucas Siebert will be in the booth because Ethan Goss
Ethan's
is fighting
in the
so,
cage.
so yeah, Siebert getting back in the broadcast booth for the second
He got
time.
my shout out last time. He did a nice job.
He's good, man.
commentating.
He's an impressive kid. Pretty much anything you throw at him, he'll prepare for and be ready to roll, which is, you know, pretty unique.
Was that Ty's first time announcing?
With Siebert or no?
With
No,
you?
Ty's been here for, what was his first one? It'd be 23 would be my
Okay.
guess. Yeah, that would be my guess. I'm not positive, but I think so. Yeah, Ty's got a few under his belt now, and he's awesome. I love it. Like, I love
love it
guys
too.
that you don't got to babysit and you just trust them to do their job. You know what I mean? He's that guy. Very professional, getting better every time too, which is crazy. So, yeah, man, I think
So what do we got now?
I got to vote. We got
I
2.
picked bad combo.
We got 2 for Hootley. We got 1 for Bad Combo. We got 1 for Carly Joe. We got 1 for Sky.
Good thing you got a memory, because nobody's writing this down.
I know. It's a gift, really, you know. But I was going, so for drama purposes, I could obviously take Sky and create a tie, but I got to be honest with everybody. Hootley was going to be my pick. I was like 55-45. I'll be on, like, it's that close to me, but Hoot does edge it out for a lot of the reasons that Paula's talking about, the narrative behind it, the build up to that fight itself, the quality of the opponent, the moment, the way he finished it. Hootley showing off knockout power is a game changer, guys. Like, for real. Everybody knew he could wrestle. Everybody knew Danilo would have him in shape, and he's got that dog in him and everything. But when he starts showing off polished hands on the feet, you got to be like, oh, what do I do to this guy now? Yeah, you got to be worried about Hoot Lee no matter where it goes. So, all that said, Hoot Lee, the first winner of 2025 Meat Bucks.
How
Let's
many
go.
times has he won?
Hey, this is getting
Is it
ridiculous.
second or
It's
third?
at least his second.
It's at least a second. I know he's been at the shop.
Didn't he
way
just get an
before.
entire prime strip loin last time cut into steaks, or was that Nico did that,
That was
too?
Nico,
did,
yeah.
did Hoot do it too? I can't remember what. Hoot
Oh, I
cut now.
can't remember.
Man, we got the video somewhere. I'll find it. I'll run that tape. But shout out Hoot Lee, man. That is a crazy, well-deserved Meat Bucks victory. To everybody else, I definitely want to emphasize you guys all kicked ass, man. This was a crazy vote, crazy decision. There were a lot of you that deserve it, and unfortunately, we got to pick one. So
Yeah,
that's
for
how
me,
it goes.
For me, I mean, there was 11 fights I had. I wrote down.
That is
and-
crazy.
And I mean,
That's a whole card.
if there was 10, I took Hoot Lee out of it. I don't know how I'd pick between those 10.
Yeah, I don't know either, man.
But
I
the
don't know.
difference for me was just the energy of the whole arena when Hoot fought, and just when he knocked him out, the sound of the place, like it was
Yeah.
on fire.
It was special.
It was
That was
special.
special. That's yeah. Like I said, after Bitby 26, I would say I would have taken Carly Joe for sure.
That
From that
fight
card.
was incredible.
Yeah, and then Bitby 27 happened, and like I said, it was a little different. So some new contenders entered, and Hoot Lee emerges. So there is a big old juicy Strip District Meats gift card waiting on you, Hoot Lee.
Oh,
and
yeah.
not only is it like we're only doing this 4 times a year now, but the gift is also bigger now, so you can
Mm.
buy more meat,
Let's go.
bigger and better than ever. So get on down. We'll text you and coordinate it like always, but I know Brad will probably see you at the gym before I see you. So
Probably tomorrow.
just coordinate with Brad and get in there and let's run this little shopping spree. So congrats, man. Hoot Lee, super well deserved. Everybody else, again, man, crazy performances. I could not be more excited with the start to 2025 with those 2 cards, man. That set the tone. April has a lot to live up to.
I don't know. Walking into this Sunny Days Arena got me pretty excited today.
We can't wait. We cannot wait, man. We cannot
I
wait.
do have one more thing to
Yeah,
shout out.
do it. Let's go.
I don't know if you guys are a part of this or not, but Pittsburgh Magazine is also doing a Best of the Berg. I don't know if that's the one we usually do or not, but voting is up now. You can vote from April 2nd to April 22nd,
Nice.
once per day, for all your favorite businesses in Pittsburgh to get Best of the Berg, like we always claim every year. But you can vote for Strip District Meats under services, but Butcher comes up first. But I'm not sure. 247 might be under there under fighting championships.
You never know.
Who knows?
We should win best fighting
Get out
championships.
there and
in
vote for your
Pittsburgh.
favorite butcher shop, though. Make sure you do.
Yeah, man, that really does mean a lot. I think in the business world, it's kind of underrated. To you, it probably doesn't. Not saying it doesn't mean a lot to you. I know it does, and you guys are very proud of that. But to get that average person in there to check it out, it's very important.
It helps me in a way. I don't need to be the best butcher.
Right.
However, every single day for 10 years, I've had customers come in. I had no idea you guys were even here. This place is like Disney World. I can't believe it. Like, this is
Dude.
amazing. And I'm like, I know. But for me, it helps people find me.
Yes,
And
exactly.
I do feel like I have a lot to offer
You do.
at Strip District.
You do.
Meats.
I can objectively say, like, feel like I say it every Meat Bucks. I shop there before you were a sponsor. I would shop there if you stopped sponsoring.
It's like Candyland. I mean,
Yeah.
in Grandpa Joe's original store is right across the street. So
yeah, you got
come on down and see us. It's not going to disappoint you. Grilling season's here. Come get yourself some quality cuts.
dude. It really is the best. Besides everything we talked about, I said I got that bison chuck roast. We talked about the ham, the holiday kielbasa, but you guys literally have everything. The wild game selection is what everybody talks about. I
Right.
feel like I told you last time I was coming in, there were 2 older ladies walking down the street.
Oh, it's all day, every day.
And she was like, they had iguana and
Yeah, yeah,
camel. And I was
yeah.
like, well, I know what she's talking about right now. That's Strip District Meats, boy. But yeah, it's crazy, man. And if you guys are into cooking at all, or you literally just need good groceries, not to put down the big chain stores, but Giant Eagle does not have steaks like this. I promise. I've done the research many times. The quality is just different. Go check it out. See what good meat's all about at Strip District Meats. But thank you, man, for your support of us and local MMA and all these athletes. They deserve it, man.
They do.
There's nothing that feels better than watching them get in Strip District Meats and just being so happy to stock up with. I
Right.
mean, they're freaking athletes. They want good fuel, and that's exactly what they get. Really high quality protein, and it'll last them a while. So that'll fuel a fight camp for sure. So
Yep.
thank you for that, man. It means a lot to us, and we're super honored every time to have you in here.
I'm glad I can be a part of it.
Thanks, bro. We'll keep this rolling. Paulo, what a debut, bro. Congrats.
You did
Congrats
great.
to you. Look at you go. But we're going to wrap this thing up, man. Hootley, winner of the Meat Bucks. Congrats, man. Super well deserved. First one of 2025. First repeat winner of Meat Bucks.
Man,
Well, we got to do some
Patton.
research.
we need a record keeper.
Patton did. Yeah, Patton's won it twice.
Okay,
yeah, you're right. Great call, Paula. But yeah, that was a good one, man. This is tough. We'll see you guys for Meat Bucks again in 3 months, and we're gonna have hopefully 3 cards to discuss by that point. First up, April 26th, BitB 28. We talked about it here and there throughout the podcast, but Justin Patton versus Chuka Willis on that thing. Ethan Goss defending his featherweight title against heel hook specialist Brady Huang. That is a wild fight. We got Nico Petrides coming back, got Bronco Busick coming back, got the Lito brothers, James and Jack, both on the card. Love that. Love a good little sibling show
The
out.
guy Broncos fighting is another giant, right?
Bro, he's so big. That dude is built like a fire
He
hydrant.
just wants to fight giants.
I don't know why, but yeah, he seems to like that.
Jeez.
Wouldn't be my path personally.
Which fight are you most excited for? If we can call Meat Bucks before, well, I guess it's more than one.
I get where
But
you're
which
going
one are
with
you
this
most
stuff.
excited for?
Honestly, man, this is going to throw a lot of people off. Of course, Ethan, Justin, those fights speak for themselves. But if I'm just picking, like, I love this matchup and have no idea what's going to happen, James Lito versus Tyler Dibert. I think that's like crazy elite amateur matchup. Skill versus skill. They match up so perfectly.
Is that advanced, Amy?
Yeah. Advanced Ammy.
Ground and pounds.
Ground and
allowed?
pounds allowed. Dibert, crazy wrestling background. Lito, one underrated aspect of this that I feel like makes it even more interesting, he was wrestling a little light this year in college at 174. So he's going up to 185 for the fight, but he's like physically a little smaller than the last time we saw him. And Dibert's not small, 185.
Dibert just fought at 205 too, I think.
Yeah, I think that was
Alright.
out of necessity.
What are the
Yeah,
odds?
yeah.
Lito gets the slam.
I mean, he slammed everybody so far, so he's kind of got to. He's got to live up to that. And then his brother Jack has an insane fight against Sam Malloy from ATT Happy Valley too. Who,
Ooh.
bro, everybody was turning down Sam Malloy for real. He was so hard to match. He's a debut. He's
Who
a
did
debut.
Jack fight in his first fight?
Evan Furlong, also a beast.
Beast.
Also a beast. So Malloy is a 19-year-old purple belt from ATT Happy Valley. Dude, like legit, nobody wanted that smoke. And then
A
Jack Lito was
19-year-old
like,
purple belt.
yeah.
Oh,
Jack
boy.
Lito was like, I want that. I will take that. So here we go. Let's do it. So those two for sure. Crazy excited. And super excited to see the father Lito, Big Jim Lito in the crowd, always a complete character. So anytime we get them back, that's awesome, man. But yeah, the whole card, top to bottom, guys, this really genuinely is some of our finer work. BitB 28 is going to be special.
And talk about where it's at.
Yeah.
Bell Vernon. Or
Yeah. CFS Bank Event Center in Bell Vernon. Really nice place. It's a hockey rink.
something? That
So
sounds like a professional arena
Yeah,
or something.
dude, it's super nice. I understand, Bell Vernon's a little off the beaten path, so to speak, but you guys are going to be very impressed by that place on fight night.
On my way here today, I was like, man, one day they're going to be downtown Pittsburgh, right? Some big venue, and they're going to be blowing it up.
Let's go. Let's go. Hey man, that's the dream. For now, we've got Bell Vernon and then we've got Sunny Days Arena, and then we'll see from there.
Yep.
But yeah, man, this train ain't stopping. We got a lot of work to do. And thanks to fights like this, I think
Yeah.
we got something
The
here. So
talent is here in this city. I'm telling you, it's
it's insane and getting better every time, which is very obvious.
oh,
Even just Meat Bucks voting is
in
way
10
hard.
years, where's it going to be, dude? These kids that are down there now that are 10,
Oh man,
when they're 20,
it's gonna. I mean, we've said it we've said it from the beginning that we want to become the next California, Florida hotbed of MMA, and I really, genuinely, truly think that's going to happen.
There's nothing that's going to stop it.
The skill level, yeah,
With the wrestling in this area,
Yeah.
and the way it's here, it is in full effect here.
Yep. And I am crazy honored to play a part of that and help elevate it here at Sunny Days Arena. I think that's going to be a big part too, just keeping them active, giving them opportunities to compete. So we're excited, man. This is going to be great. What we got? Anything else to plug? Bippy 28, obviously, you know, we just talked about that. April 26th, tickets at 247fighting.com. Get them. They're crazy slim. Like you guys just heard the names on that card. They're selling tickets like crazy. First row is definitely totally gone. Second row maybe has like 1 or 2 seats left. It's really thin. If you guys want good seats, you better go jump on that right now. So we'll see you guys there. Bell Vernon. For now, Brad, Strip District Meats. Cheers, dude.
Cheers,
Thanks for
buddy.
coming here. Cheers, Paula. Great
Congrats,
work, man.
Hoot.
Yeah. Congrats, Hoot Lee. Meat Bucks. Let's go. We'll end this thing.